Hey yogis, welcome. We are due for a whole body practice, I think. And so we'll do that, but we're also going to have an emphasis on hip openers. For one, because they feel good, and the second reason is because one of you requested a specific shape, Yogi Dandasana, which is a pretty wildly open external hip rotation and hip opener. So if you get to it, cool. If it doesn't work in your body, it doesn't matter. You're still going to reap the nice hip opening benefits today. So let's find our way into a seated position first, making any natural movement. And ultimately settling in. Observe the breath as it slows. Make friction at the deep throat. Feeling fully to sit tall. Keeping that height as you exhale, drawing the abdominal wall back. Inhaling again, sit tall, breathe to back lungs. Stay tall as you exhale. Find the abdomen on the way out. Now we'll work our way into a couple of retentions. So we're going to empty out first. And inhale about 3/4 of the way. And hold. Fill a little more and empty slowly. A recovery cycle of breath in and out. Second round, empty out. Fill 3/4. Hold. Fill. Slowly empty. Recovery round of breath for one more cycle. And then preparing, empty all the way. Fill 3/4. Retain. Sip it in. Slowly out. Just recover with one more breath in. And an open mouth, sigh out. Come back to Ujjayi breath. Moving the head around. Gaze way over the right shoulder. Back to center, gaze far past the left shoulder. And then back to center, right ear to right shoulder, and then tip your body over to the right. Let the head come over to the right as well. And then come back to center as that shoulder relaxes. Left shoulder lifts up toward the ear. You'll tip your body to the left and let the head go with you over to the left. And then through center over on the right again. Through center to the left. And now let intuition, body knowing take over. It's a simple movement. Move in your way, no rules. One or two more each side. And then back at neutral. Now we're going to separate the feet a little bit. You're still kind of cross-legged, so have one foot in front of the other. Sitting super tall, you'll twist over to the right, face the right knee, tip forward, bow a little. And then exhale, empty out, round the spine, tucking chin. Inhale, heart goes forward, shoulders back, even the sits bones point back. Twice more right here. Exhale, empty out, round. Inhale, open heart, arching. Last one. And come on back up to sit tall. Twist to face this left knee. Walk about halfway down. Pause there. Breathe to where you're opening. On an exhale, push the ground away, empty out, and round the spine. Inhale, heart forward, shoulders back, even the sits bones point out behind you. Two more rounds like that. Exhale, empty. Inhale, arching. Last one, exhale, empty. Inhale, open-hearted. Neutral spine, come on back to center. Now we're going to step the feet nice and wide right underneath the knees. In fact, you can take them a little forward of the knees, sit super tall, take your hands onto your shoulders. Send the knees off to one side and then off to the other side. Stay upright as you stay in motion. Warming the hip joints. And then finishing, bring the soles of the feet together, the knees good and wide. Slide the feet a little bit out, so light little diamond shape. And you'll tip this forward. Come back up to center. We'll scoop the knees together and then crawl over onto all fours. Send the fingers out wide to the side. Tuck your toes underneath and rock your body side to side. you want more for wrists, point the fingers back, tip your weight back. Option to either rock forward and back or to stay with it, tipping backward. So the base of the palm is just lifting off the ground. Movement welcome. Stay full in your breath. Come back into neutral. Now, point both fingers forward, but you're going to take the back of the left hand down to the ground. Straighten through that elbow for the stretch of it. And then maybe you can tip your body weight back just a little bit. Let's breathe to the front of the wrist for a little while. And curl the fingers up toward your palm. Make a fist. And reopen the hand. Do that twice more. Exhale, squeeze into fist. And then open. Last time, squeeze. And open. You shake it out. And place that palm down. Back of the right hand comes down. Fingers point to you. Let's straighten through the elbow to really get the stretch of it. If you want a little more, tip the weight back. Let's breathing to the opening. Then curl your fingers toward the palm. Squeeze. Reopen. 2 more times. Make a fist. Try to keep elbow straight and then straighten. Last time, squeeze it. And reopen. Shake it out. Good. Come on to fingertips. And make your way to downward facing dog and place the palms all the way down. Bending into each knee. Natural movement, so welcome. To awaken the spine a little bit, bend your knees, point the sits bones extra high, like a tipping this pelvic bowl forward, getting a little arch through the low back. Wave that to plank. And then again, the butt bones lead, point them up to get you back to that downward dog shape with bent knees. Twice more, wave it forward, plank. Kind of like a plank, and then the sits bones lead, send you back. Just looking for the spine, looking for the hips. Come forward again. And then back into downward facing dog. You can straighten your legs now. Walk your hands halfway back. Pressing heels into the mat if possible. Press the chest down. Head is heavy. To get more, sway the hips from left to right. Step the feet as wide as the mat. Point the toes out. Then walk yourself all the way into a seated squat at the back of the mat. Elbows encouraging the knees wide. We'll squeeze hard at Mula Bandha. Shoulders back, heart lifts. Let's keep warming up. Walk the hands forward. Come on back to downward facing dog. And then walk your feet to the top of the mat. Hands to shins to flatten back. Fold forward. Rise. Arms release. Separate your feet hips distance. We're going to get into the shoulders a little bit today. This is pretty powerful for shoulder flexion mobility. So sweep your arms all the way up overhead. Interlace your fingers. You can flip your palms inside out if that feels reasonable. On an exhale, send the knuckles a little bit forward. Round the spine just a little bit, like you're pulling all of the ribs in. Get super empty. Belly comes back too. Get nice and compact at the front body. And then as you inhale, keep that compactness, ribs drawing back, but you're going to reach your arms up. So the chest is not lifting, it's kind of collapsing down. Arms come up and even reach back. And then recalibrate, because chances are it's pretty natural to open up through the chest to get that opening in the shoulders, and we don't want to do that. So on the exhale, you're going to come forward just a little bit, even less this time. Effort to hug the ribs in, knit them together, stitch them together, keep them together, and then the arms come up and even maybe a little bit back. Make sure you're getting straight through the elbows, or at least making the attempt. Last time on the exhale, knit the ribs in, round a little. Keep that firmness as you reach the arms back up and even almost behind you, isolating those shoulders. Okay, separate the fingers. Take hold of the left wrist, reach up and over to the right. You might come onto right tippy toe. You're hiking the right hip up. Breathe. Through center, reaching up. Take hold of right wrist, up and over to the left. Could come onto left tippy toes, hiking left hip up. And then back through center, reach up, look up. Exhaling to dive all the way down. Inhale, flatten the back. Exhale, fold again. This time grab hold of your elbows. We're going to get moving, I promise. Let's just do a nice job of opening the body. Rock the head. Straighten through one leg even more. And the other leg. Both legs. And fingers to floor or shins as you lengthen. Look forward. Exhale, step one foot back, followed by the other plank pose. Inhaling. Exhale all the way to your belly. Inhale, lift to cobra. You're going to tip it over to the right, look over left shoulder. Just tip that ear over. We want an opening through neck. Through center. Tip over to the left. You can rock the head a little. Or tip it. And then through center. Lift. Exhale through child's pose. Split the knees, arms reach forward. Settle the hips. Find downward facing dog. Rhythmic in the breathing. Sweep the right leg out behind. And open that hip, bend the knee, point it high, even make circles. Knee comes around to tap right elbow. Place that foot outside your hand. Take a second. Send the heart forward, reach the legs away. Step left foot outside, left hand. Squeeze it, Mula Bandha, so the root lock is tight, but you are in squat. Opening through legs. We'll add on, pin the right arm out in front of the shin, open the left arm to the sky. You can stay here or draw top hand behind your head, even wrap it for bind, make it yours. Open out and back through center. Pin the left arm in front of that shin, right arm rolls open. Stay here or draw top hand behind the head. Another alternative is wrap behind, find bind. Unwind it, back through center, and then pour your body over legs. You can parallel your feet on the way, dangle here at forward fold. Inhale, flatten out. Exhale, hands to the waist, elbows point you, 1 point high, and the heart takes you all the way up. Neutral spine. Let's bring the feet back together. Establish Tadasana. Inhale, reaching upward. Exhale, dive down. Inhale, flatten. Exhale, step one foot back, followed by the other. Plank pose, inhaling. Exhale, lower. Could be halfway or all the way into up dog or cobra now. Through to downward facing dog. Sweep the left leg out behind. You can open that hip, bend the knee, make some circles. Take the knee to your elbow. Plant this foot outside the hand. Pause a second, lift the heart, reach the legs away from each other. Then step right foot outside right hand, sink low for squat. Hands to the heart, you're lifting your chest. Okay, lock thumbs. Can you reach the arms up as high as possible? Then plant hands. This is going to be a crow practice, but we're going to come right back to where we are right now. So plant your fingers, spread them wide. Get your knees tucked up high on the arms. Heart goes forward but stays a little lifted. Squeeze the heels in. Breathe slow. Set your feet slowly down. Return to Malasana, squat. Then we'll interlace the hands low behind your back. Start to straighten your legs so you can pour yourself over them parallel through the feet. Any movement welcome.
reaching up, bend the knees like a wide-legged chair pose. And stand tall, rejoin the feet. Let's keep building the flow. Next, inhale, reach your arms overhead. Exhale, dive. Inhale, flat. Exhale, step the left foot to the back of the mat. Join the hands, or send the hands to the inside of this right foot. You point the right toes out wide to the side, and then reach this left leg long behind you. Heart stays light. If you'd like to add on, tip over into the left hand, send the right hand to the inner knee, and push the knee away a bit. Send the heart forward, point the right toes forward, set the back heel down. You create peaceful warrior from it. Left hand slides down left leg, right arm reaches up. Come on up, create a half moon. Right finger's outside right foot. Slide it forward. And balance, fingers under shoulder, left leg hovers. Left arm reaches up. Now feel free to stay or to create a Chapasana. Bend that top leg, take hold of the foot, kick back behind. Return to half moon. And let this land at warrior 2. Straighten both legs, parallel through feet. Hands to waist, lift your heart. And bow forward. Flatten the back, hands under shoulders. Take your left toes in, right toes point to the front, and create our triangle from this. Right hand walks over toward the shin or behind it on the ground. You're going to peel the left side hip open, the left side shoulder, and the left arm reaches high. Find a way to get your right hand on the ground, even if you've got to bend your right knee to make that happen. Left arm still reaching high. You're going to create a side plank variation. This is from request also. One of you wanted to strengthen your inner thighs. Let's take this right foot off to the left. You're going to pulse it 20 times. Okay, so 90-degree angle, leg to torso. Go lift, lift. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Halfway. 11, 12, 13, 14, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Bend the knees, send the left hand down, rock on over to left side plank. Any version that calls to you. And then slowly stepping right foot to the back of the mat. We're going to finish what we started. So toes point out to the side. This time let your left knee come down. Heart is light. If you're looking for more, rock onto the outer edge of this right foot. You can even gently encourage the knee down with your right hand. Option to climb onto left elbow. And then onto right elbow, pointing the heart forward. And you can stay wide. If it's bothering you though, hug it in towards center. Climb up onto hands, hug the right knee in, tuck back toes. Sweep the right leg all the way out behind you and find a flow. Downward facing dog. Onto toes, bend knees, you'll step or leap your feet between your hands. Lengthen. Fold. Root and rise. Hands through heart. Come right back in. Inhale, reaching up. Exhale, dive. Inhale, flat. Exhale, step the right foot back. Wiggle the left toes off to the left. Hands come to the inside of that foot. And the toes will actually splay wide. Hang out a second. Get powerful in the back leg. And if you want more, tip weight into the right hand. Gently push this left knee out wide to the side. And facing forward, point the left toes forward, send the back heel down, creating peaceful warrior. Right hand slides down back leg, left arm reaches up. Come on up to create your half moon. Left fingers land outside this foot. Slide them forward to find balance. Staying here or build sugar cane. Grab hold of your foot, kick behind. Breathe through half moon, finding warrior two. Straighten both legs, parallel the feet. And take reverse prayer. Lift the heart. And bow. If you'd really like to sneak an inversion in, you could find your way into a headstand from here if you want. I'm going to work on the fold. Right, hands underneath the shoulders, lengthen. Right toes come in, left toes point to the front. You can take left hand to shin or fingers outside or hand outside that leg. Peel the right hip open, peel the right shoulder open. Reach the arm up, breathe. Let's find a way to get this left hand all the way onto the ground, even if left knee's got to bend. It's going to become a side plank variation. This left foot swings way off to the right, so the leg and torso create a 90-degree angle. You're going to pulse this foot up for 20. Lift, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. You got this. 7, 8, 9, halfway. 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. Bend the knee, right hand plants. Rock over to right side plank. Any variation. Bring this left foot to the top left corner of the mat. Point the toes wide, but you'll set the right knee down this time. Send the heart forward. If you'd like more, gently press the left knee away from you. Option to send the right elbow down. And then the left elbow down, heart goes forward. If it's too much with the knee wide, hug it in. You'll climb back onto your hands, hug the left knee in, tuck back toes, sweep the left leg up behind, and find vinyasa. Through to downward facing dog. Step your or hop your way to sit all the way down. Find a block if you've got one handy, no worries if not. You're gonna extend the legs to start. Peel the toes open. So manually roll your hips open in the joints. Bring the soles of the feet together, kind of like Baddha Konasana, but you're going to separate your feet about a block's width apart. Feet can be slight distance away from you. If you feel really closed off in the hips or the back, it's beneficial to come up onto some height. Otherwise, tip this forward. About halfway up, you'll face the right ankle and fold in its direction. Halfway up, face the left ankle, fold in its direction. Come all the way up and sit tall. Let's bring the left heel just in toward your groin. That's the leg that rests for a second. We're going to continue work with this right hip. So imagine a block is here if it's not, and if it is, even better. So you can place your right hand onto the right inner knee, gently support it downward as you grab hold of your right foot. Now some of you are going to feel stuck, and I wouldn't push it either way. Just sort of notice where you are, be at a threshold space, breathe to it, see if there's any room or space to make there. If you feel pretty open and pretty safe, then you'd keep the right knee low and lift the right foot. Maybe you could even take it onto the height of the block, gently pressing the right knee down. Okay. If that worked out just fine, keep gently pressing the right knee down, come onto the second height of the block. If that was no big deal, come onto the high height of the block. And if that's still no big deal, tip your heart in the direction of your foot right there. Now wherever you are, if you want a little bit more, start to swivel your heart to the left, away from the foot. You might even be able to slide this right arm down the length of your foot until the elbow's in the foot. Or if you're very open, it'll be the upper arm or even almost the shoulder in the foot. We're not pushing it just yet. Let's just make space, breathe. Come all the way up. Okay, a little bit more. Let's keep hold of the foot and remove the block. This time it's really important that the knee is on the ground. So you can even rock your weight all the way over until the knee's on the ground. You're lifting the foot up. Okay, and then do it dynamically a few more times. So rock the knee down, lift the foot up. No judgment. Doesn't matter how far you get. Farther isn't necessarily better. Try to keep a relatively open angle, almost 90 degrees from shin bone to thigh bone. A couple more times. And then we'll find more in a little bit. So let's extend those legs. Point the feet out, roll the hip bones out, come back toward that Baddha Konasana shape separated by the block. Sit nice and tall. Now the right heel comes in. It takes the rest. Left hand to the knee, press it down gently. And then maybe you can take hold of the foot, place it up on the block. Check in. If it's no big deal, take your block to a higher height. Acclimate at each stage. And maybe even coming up onto the highest height. And wherever you get, option to tip your heart towards your foot. If you want a little more, reach your heart over to the right as you fold. You might even be able to slide your arm through the leg or through the foot. If you can get your elbow to your foot, that's very open. If you can keep going, cool. You're on your way to this shape. Let's just pause, find a place to work with. And then climb back up, take hold of the foot, remove the prop. You really want the knee to get onto the ground, so tip your body weight all the way over till the knee plants. Try to lift your foot up, keeping the leg right about at 90 degrees. And then come on up, sit tall. And twice more, so tip it over, lift the foot. Keep rocking. I said twice more, let's go for one more. And then back through center. Sit all the way down, stretch the legs out. And we're gonna keep the feet and hips warm, or the legs and hips warm. So keep the heels in nice and close, knees together. Come on to the balls of your feet, like you're setting up for Paschasana, but you're not. Send the heels down, lift the heart up, arms up, chair.
And then bend down low again, balls of the feet, heels can lift. If you can keep the heels down, that's cool too. Got a few more of these. Heels down, heart lifts. Squeeze the knees together, come down low. Heels down, heart lifts, chair. Come down low. Twice more. It's fatiguing the thighs a little. Getting them warm. Good. Sit all the way down. Now we're going to take this right foot in toward your chest and cradle the leg, rocking with it. Send your right arm underneath the leg, get the foot up onto the shoulder. Just for fun, we'll sneak an elephant trunk in here. So plant the hands out in front of your hips. Extend the left leg out in front and lift your seat for 5, 4, squeeze the right knee in toward you. 2, 1, sit it all the way down, rebend left knee. Now compass, left hand to the outer edge of the foot. You can extend this leg off to the side. A little external rotation through that hip helps. That's why rocking a little bit can sometimes unlock this. And if you're nowhere near it, get a strap, a belt, or whatever you got to hook around that foot. But let's enjoy a pinnacle moment in compass. Rebend this knee, try to touch the foot to the forehead. If that was no problem, first of all, if it was a problem, hang out at your threshold. If it was no problem, we're looking for a foot behind the head. You can tuck the head forward, do what you got to do. No stress about this whatsoever. And then release it. Extend the legs, shake it all out. Okay, both heels come in. Let's cradle the left leg. Rock with it. Bring the foot in close to the chest, chest close to foot. Send your left arm underneath your leg. You can lift your left hip to get this leg nice and high into the arm, or even better, the shoulder. Plant your hands out in front of your shins and the right leg forward. Lift your seat for 5, 4, left knee squeezes in, 2, 1. Set it down, head it into compass. Okay, right hand around the foot, or find a strap. This helps to send the leg out wide a few times. Try not to crunch too much in the low back. If you find you're crunching in the low back, it's worth coming out of it, sitting tall again. Your QLs can end up paying for this, so I don't want that to be you. Find your way into compass. And then as you release it, try bringing the foot toward your forehead, staying tall in the low back. Either stay there or work toward foot behind the head pose.
and then a release for it. Gonna recover before we find the final phase of this. So tip yourself back, take the feet wide, the knees toward each other. So all that's left is our pinnacle shape. If you're someone who wants to sneak in a more sort of traditional practice, the traditional finishing poses, you can head in toward back bends and headstands right now. Otherwise, hang out for the final shape. Finding this external rotation is a way to counteract all the external rotation. Okay, and then point your knees back up. Now, hug both heels in. But as we did before, we're going to lift into the right foot and we're headed into our shape. So you're going to tip way over to the right until that knee hits the ground. Plant the left foot for stability. See what it's like to get this foot up a little higher, and maybe you can even slide your elbow into the foot. Elbow into foot is a great first phase of the shape. If you feel like you can go deeper though, you put the foot up in toward your armpit. Doesn't have to look pretty on the way in. Okay. Flexing that foot, the tipping way back helps. And you can point your right fingers toward the ground, or some of you will even tuck it underneath your knee. You could extend this left leg, taking Gyan Mudra, forefinger to thumb, find a focal point. Slowly release it. Extend the legs, tip back, bend both knees. Let's rock them side to side. All right, setting up for second one. Pull the feet together for a second. Lift on your left foot. Tip way over so you can get the knee down. Now the right foot stamps on the ground. Okay, pick the foot up. You might be able to get this elbow into the foot. That's a great first phase. If you feel you can go farther, but please don't push it, send the foot up in toward the upper arm. If you feel you can keep going, next phase would be to point these left fingers down. Some of you will even tuck that hand underneath the knee. You can sort of tip the heart away from this right leg. Right arm extends, find Gyan Mudra and a focal point in the distance. Like you walking toward your Dharma. And then slowly release it. Last time, extend the legs, tip back. Bend your knees, rock them side to side. If you'd like a final vinyasa, take it now. Making your way all the way onto your back, finding a final relaxation. I'm going to opt for a supported back bend, since we didn't get much in the way of back bends. This one's gentle. And take this time for only you. Make your way back to breath and movement. Finding a final seat.
Another practice logged, my friend. Well done. Have a great day. Be well.